The alien surprise. The big spaceship of the Galactic Empire moved slowly through space. It was looking for new planets to add to their big space kingdom. The ship was full of alien scouts. Their job was to find new worlds. One day, the ship's computers started to beep. They had found something new. It was a blue and green planet. The aliens had never seen it before. "Look at that," said Zorg, the lead scout. He was tall and had blue skin. "It's a new planet. Let's check it out." The other aliens crowded around the big screen. They saw oceans, mountains, and cities. But something was odd. The cities didn't look very advanced. Zorg zoomed in on one of the cities. He saw old cars and simple buildings. "This is strange," he said. "These aliens seem very backward." Another alien, named Blorp, looked closer. "Look at their flying machines," he said. "They're so slow and clumsy. They can barely leave their own planet." The aliens laughed. They thought Earth was weak and easy to conquer. "Let's send a message to the Emperor," Zorg said. "We found an easy target." But the aliens made a big mistake. They didn't look hard enough. They missed something very important. Down on Earth, things were not what they seemed. In a secret base deep under the ocean, humans were busy. They were working on something the aliens couldn't see. General Sarah Johnson walked into the control room of the secret base. She looked at the big screens on the wall. They showed the alien ship in space. "They're here," she said to her team. "Just like we thought they would be." A young scientist named Mike asked, "Should we tell the world about the aliens?" Sarah shook her head. "Not yet. Let them think we're weak. It's our secret weapon." Meanwhile, the aliens decided to visit Earth. They wanted to meet the simple humans. 3 small alien ships flew down to Earth. The ships landed in a big field. Farmers watched with open mouths as the aliens came out. The aliens looked weird. They had different colors and shapes. Some had 3 eyes. Others had 4 arms. Zorg stepped forward. He held up a sign. On it were pictures of the aliens ruling Earth. He thought the humans would understand the pictures. But the humans just looked confused. They didn't run away. They didn't look scared. This was not what the aliens expected. One brave farmer stepped forward. His name was Bob. "Howdy," he said to Zorg. "You folks lost or something." Zorg was surprised. He thought the human would bow down. He pointed to the picture of aliens ruling Earth again. Bob scratched his head. "Sorry, partner. I don't get it. You want to buy my farm or something." The aliens were getting frustrated. This was not going as planned. What the aliens didn't know was that Earth's governments were watching everything. In the secret underwater base, Sarah and her team saw it all on their screens. "They think we're stupid," Sarah said with a smile. "Good. Let's keep it that way for now." Back in the field, the aliens decided to show off their technology. Zorg took out a laser gun. He pointed it at an old tractor and fired. The tractor exploded. The farmers jumped back. Now they looked scared. Zorg smiled. "This is more like it," he thought. But then something funny happened. Bob's wife, Mary, came out of the farmhouse. She was carrying a shotgun. She thought the aliens were troublemakers. "You break it, you buy it," she yelled at Zorg. She fired her shotgun in the air. The loud noise scared the aliens. They had never heard anything like it. They ran back to their ships and took off. In space, Zorg told the Emperor about Earth. "It's a primitive planet," he said. "It will be easy to conquer. We should send a fleet to take it over." The Emperor agreed. He ordered a small fleet of warships to go to Earth. The aliens were sure that they would win easily, but Earth was ready. In the secret base, Sarah gave an order. "It's time," she said. "Prepare the carrier for launch." Deep under the ocean, something huge began to move. The aliens had no idea what was coming. They thought they were the surprise. But Earth had a much bigger surprise waiting for them. As the alien fleet came closer to Earth, The humans got ready. Their secret weapon was about to be revealed. The aliens were in for the shock of their lives. Earth's big secret. The alien ships were getting closer to Earth. They thought it would be easy to take over the planet, but they were in for a big surprise. Deep under the Pacific Ocean, something was happening. In a secret base, General Sarah Johnson was giving orders. "It's time," she said. "Let's show these aliens what Earth can really do." Miles beneath the waves, a huge door began to open. Water rushed in, filling giant chambers. Then, slowly, something massive started to rise. On the surface, the ocean began to bubble. Fishermen in their boats looked worried. "What's going on?" they asked each other. They had no idea what was about to happen. Suddenly, a huge metal object broke through the waves. It was bigger than anything the fishermen had ever seen. Water poured off its sides like waterfalls. "It's a ship," one fisherman yelled. "A spaceship." He was right. It was Earth's secret weapon. A giant spaceship called the Terra Defender. It had been hidden underwater for years, waiting for this moment. As the Terra Defender rose higher, it created massive waves. Surfers on nearby beaches couldn't believe their luck. They rode the biggest waves of their lives, cheering as they went. Inside the Terra Defender, Sarah and her crew were busy. They were getting ready for the fight ahead. "Power up all systems," Sarah ordered. "Let's give these aliens a welcome they'll never forget." The ship was amazing. It had powerful lasers, strong shields, and engines that could make it fly faster than anything the aliens had. But the best part was its secret weapon, a device that could make wormholes in space. Up in their ships, the aliens were shocked. Zorg, the lead alien, couldn't believe his eyes. "What is that?" he yelled. "Where did it come from?" The other aliens were just as surprised. They had thought Earth only had old planes and cars. This giant spaceship was nothing like what they expected. Zorg tried to be brave. "It doesn't matter," he told his crew. "Our ships are still better. We'll destroy that thing easily." But he was wrong. As the alien ships got closer, the Terra Defender sprang into action. It fired warning shots that lit up the sky. The alien ships had to dodge quickly to avoid being hit. People all over Earth could see the light show in the sky. They came out of their houses, pointing and staring. News reporters rushed to tell the story. "Breaking news," a reporter said on TV. "A giant spaceship has come out of the ocean and is fighting alien invaders." This is not a movie, folks. This is real. The world watched in amazement as the Terra Defender fought the alien ships. It moved fast, dodging alien attacks while firing back with powerful lasers. Inside the Terra Defender, Sarah's crew worked hard. They were winning, but it wasn't easy. "Keep it up, team," Sarah said. "We're showing them what Earth can do." The alien ships tried to surround the Terra Defender. But then something incredible happened. The Earth ship used its secret weapon. It created a wormhole right in front of it. The Terra Defender flew into the wormhole and disappeared. The aliens were confused. Where did it go? Suddenly, the Earth ship appeared behind them, coming out of another wormhole. "Impossible," Zorg shouted. He had never seen anything like this before. The Terra Defender fired again, hitting several alien ships. Zorg realized they were in trouble. "Retreat," he ordered. "We need to get out of here." The alien ships turned and flew away as fast as they could. They had come to Earth thinking it would be easy to conquer. Instead, they were running away scared. As the aliens left, people on Earth cheered. The Terra Defender had saved the day. It slowly descended back into the ocean, disappearing beneath the waves. In the secret base, Sarah and her team celebrated. "Good job, everyone," she said. "But this is just the beginning. The aliens will be back, and we need to be ready." The world had changed. Earth was no longer just a little planet in space. It was now a force to be reckoned with, and it had a big secret, a powerful spaceship that could protect it from any threat. As night fell, People looked up at the stars. They wondered what would happen next. One thing was sure, Earth was ready for whatever the galaxy might throw at it. The Terra Defender waited silently under the ocean, ready for its next adventure. Earth's big secret was out, and the whole galaxy was about to find out just how powerful humans could be. Space battle time. The aliens were angry. They had run away from Earth, but now they wanted to fight back. Zorg, the alien leader, called for more ships. "We'll show those humans who's boss," he said. Back on Earth, General Sarah Johnson knew the aliens would return. She kept the Terra Defender ready. "This time," she told her crew, "we'll take the fight to them." Days passed. Then, one morning, the alarm sounded. The alien fleet was back, and it was bigger than before. Sarah called her best pilot, Jake. "It's time," she said. "Take us up." The ocean began to bubble and churn. Slowly, the massive Terra Defender rose from the waves. Water cascaded off its sides, creating rainbows in the sunlight. As the ship climbed higher, Jake smiled. "Let's show these aliens some fancy flying," he said. In space, Zorg saw the Earth ship coming. "Attack," he ordered. Hundreds of alien ships zoomed towards the Terra Defender. The space around Earth lit up with laser fire. It looked like a giant fireworks show. People on Earth watched in awe, their faces glued to TV screens and windows. Jake moved the Terra Defender like it was a small fighter, not a huge ship. It spun and dodged, avoiding alien shots. "Yeehaw!" Jake yelled as he made the ship do a perfect barrel roll. Sarah laughed. "Save the cowboy moves for later, Jake. Let's hit them back." The Terra Defender's weapons came to life. Huge beams of energy shot out, hitting alien ships left and right. Explosions filled space like tiny, silent fireworks. Zorg couldn't believe it. "How can one ship be so strong?" he yelled. He decided to attack the Terra Defender himself. Zorg's ship was fast. It zipped around, firing at the Earth ship. But Jake was ready. He waited for the right moment. Then, "Now!" Sarah shouted. Jake hit a button, and a wormhole opened right in front of them. The Terra Defender vanished into the wormhole. Zorg was confused. "Where did they go?" he asked. Suddenly, the Earth ship appeared behind Zorg. "Surprise," Jake said, firing the lasers. Zorg's ship was hit. It started spinning out of control. "No fair," Zorg cried as he retreated. The battle continued. The Terra Defender used its wormhole trick again and again. It would disappear and then pop up somewhere else, always surprising the aliens. But the alien fleet was big. There were still many ships attacking. Sarah knew they needed to do something big to win. "Jake," she said, "remember that crazy idea you had during training?" Jake grinned. "The space tornado. You said it was too dangerous." Sarah nodded. "Well, now it's just dangerous enough. Let's do it." Jake started flying the Terra Defender in a huge circle. Faster and faster it went. The ship's engines were so powerful that it started creating a giant whirlpool in space. Alien ships got caught in the space tornado. They spun around and around, crashing into each other. It was like a giant, cosmic washing machine. People on Earth couldn't believe what they were seeing. One kid watching said, "Cool. It's like a cosmic flush." The space tornado worked. Many alien ships were damaged or destroyed. The rest were so dizzy they couldn't fight. Zorg saw that they were losing. "Retreat," he yelled again. Everybody ran away. The alien ships turned tail and fled. They zoomed away as fast as they could, not looking back. As the aliens disappeared into deep space, cheers erupted on the Terra Defender. They had won. Jake did one more barrel roll to celebrate. This time, Sarah didn't mind. "Nice flying, cowboy," she said with a smile. The Terra Defender slowly flew back to Earth. As it descended, people all over the world cheered and clapped. The ship had saved Earth again. Before the ship sank back into the ocean, Jake took it for a victory lap around the planet. People waved flags and banners saying thank you in many languages. As the Terra Defender settled back into its underwater base, Sarah addressed her crew. "Great job, everyone. But remember, this isn't over. The aliens will be back. And next time, we'll be ready to take the fight to their home turf." The crew cheered. They were tired but happy. Earth had stood up to the alien invaders and won. The galaxy would never be the same again. As night fell, people on Earth looked up at the stars with new eyes. They weren't afraid anymore. Instead, they felt proud and strong. Earth wasn't just a little blue planet anymore. It was a force to be reckoned with in the vast ocean of space. Big news in space. The news spread fast across the galaxy. Earth, a planet that everyone thought was boring, had beaten the mighty Galactic Empire. Aliens everywhere were talking about it. On the planet Zoob, green blob-like aliens gathered around their TVs. The top story was Earth's victory. A Zoobian news anchor, who looked like a talking jelly, said, "In shocking news, the Empire got its butt kicked by a bunch of humans." The Zoobians were amazed. One asked, "What's a butt?" They didn't have those. Meanwhile, on the rock planet Gronk, the stone-skinned aliens were having a heated debate. "I bet Earth's secret weapon is a giant rock-throwing machine," one said. Another argued, "No, it must be a super-strong spaceship made of diamonds." They were both wrong, but it was fun to guess. In the Galactic Empire's capital, things were not so fun. The Emperor, a tall alien with 3 eyes and purple skin, was very angry. He stomped around his throne room, yelling at his advisors. "How could we lose to a bunch of primitives?" he roared. They were supposed to be easy to conquer. One brave advisor spoke up. "Maybe they're not so primitive, Your Highness." The Emperor glared at him. "Nonsense. Next, you'll tell me they don't even have tentacles." He didn't know humans really don't have tentacles. Across the galaxy, alien scientists were trying to figure out Earth's technology. On the water world of Splish Splash, octopus-like aliens drew pictures of what they thought the Terra Defender looked like. Their drawings showed a giant fish with lasers for eyes and rocket engines for fins. It wasn't right, but it looked cool. They hummed the pictures in their underwater art galleries. On the trade planet Bargain 7, alien merchants saw a big opportunity. They started selling Earth stuff. Most of it was fake, like authentic human breathing air, in cans, and real Earth rock, which was just regular rock painted blue and green. One tricky merchant even tried to sell human eggs. They were just chicken eggs painted with funny faces, but aliens bought them anyway, thinking they'd hatch tiny humans. Back in the Empire, Zorg was in big trouble. The Emperor had demoted him to toilet cleaner for losing the battle. "It's not fair," Zorg complained as he scrubbed a toilet with his toothbrush. "That Earth ship cheated. It made holes in space." His friend, Blorp, patted him on the back. There, he said. "At least you're an expert on black holes now." Zorg didn't find it funny. On Earth, people were celebrating their victory, but they were also confused by some of the alien messages they were getting. General Sarah Johnson read one message out loud to her team. "Dear Earthlings, we admire your bravery in battle. As a peace offering, we'd like to trade our finest asteroid jumpers for your legendary cow-launching catapults." Sarah looked puzzled. Cow-launching catapults? Where did they get that idea? Jake, the pilot, raised his hand sheepishly. That might be my fault. I told an alien I met that we had cattle ranches. Maybe he misunderstood." Everyone laughed. The idea of cows flying through space was pretty funny. As days passed, more and more alien races wanted to talk to Earth. Some were scared, some were excited, and some were just curious. The Floof aliens, who looked like giant talking cotton balls, sent a message asking if they could visit Earth to learn the ancient human art of hair-splitting. They thought humans must be experts because of the phrase "splitting hairs." The Zorblats, a race of super-smart aliens, asked if they could study Earth's primitive but effective gravity control. They couldn't believe Earth kept people on the ground without any technology. Sarah and her team worked hard to answer all these messages. Sometimes it was difficult to explain simple things about Earth, but mostly it was fun. One day, a message came from a peaceful alien race called the Harmonies. They wanted to be friends with Earth. "We've heard your people make beautiful music," their message said. "We'd love to hear your planet's song." Sarah smiled. This was a chance to show the galaxy that Earth wasn't just strong, but also creative and friendly. As Earth prepared to make new friends in space, the Galactic Empire was planning its revenge. The Emperor hadn't given up. "We'll show those humans," he grumbled. "We'll build a bigger fleet and crush them." But now, Earth wasn't alone. Many aliens were on its side. The coming battle wouldn't just be about Earth anymore. It would decide the future of the whole galaxy. As night fell on Earth, people looked up at the stars. They knew that somewhere out there, aliens were looking back. The universe had become a much bigger, more exciting place, and Earth was right in the middle of it all, ready for whatever came next. Earth gets ready. The whole world now knew about the aliens and the Terra Defender. It was time for Earth to get ready for whatever might come next. General Sarah Johnson called a big meeting. Leaders from all countries came. They sat in a huge room with a giant screen showing pictures of space. "We beat the aliens once," Sarah said, "but they'll be back. We need to work together to protect Earth." One leader raised his hand. "Can't we just use the Terra Defender again?" Sarah shook her head. "One ship isn't enough. We need more." And so, Operation Space Shield began. All over the world, people started working on new spaceships and weapons. In a secret base in the desert, scientists were building a new laser. It was so powerful it could cut an asteroid in half. They called it the Star Slicer. One day, while testing the Star Slicer, something funny happened. The scientists aimed it at an old satellite, but instead of cutting it, the laser turned the satellite into a giant disco ball. The scientists scratched their heads, confused. "Well," one said, "at least we can have a dance party in space now." Meanwhile, in a hidden valley, engineers were working on special suits. These suits would let people breathe in space. They looked like shiny silver pajamas with bubble helmets. During a test, one engineer accidentally filled his suit with laughing gas instead of oxygen. He floated around, giggling and telling bad jokes. "Hey guys," he said between laughs, "why don't aliens visit Earth? Lack of atmosphere." His teammates groaned at the joke but couldn't help smiling. At least the suit worked. In schools, kids were learning about space and aliens. They had a contest to design posters about Earth's defense. One popular poster showed the Terra Defender playing cosmic basketball with planets. Farmers started growing special plants that could survive in space. They hoped to make space food tastier. One farmer accidentally created a tomato that glowed in the dark. "Well," he said, "at least we'll never lose it in the fridge." Even animals were part of the preparation. Scientists trained dolphins to help with underwater spaceship repairs. The dolphins were smart, but they kept trying to play with the tools instead of using them. One day, a dolphin grabbed a wrench and swam away, clicking happily. A scientist sighed. "Great, now we have a dolphin mechanic. What's next?" Astronaut squirrels. As it turned out, squirrels were indeed being trained, but not as astronauts. They were taught to spot tiny cracks in spaceships. Their sharp eyes were perfect for the job. During one inspection, a squirrel found a crack shaped exactly like an acorn. It was so excited it did a little dance. The engineers laughed but gave the squirrel extra nuts as a reward. In cities, people built special shelters in case of alien attacks. One city made their shelters look like giant coffee cups. "If we're going to hide," the mayor said, "we might as well do it in style." General Sarah was busy too. She was training new pilots for the spaceships. One day, during a simulator test, a young pilot accidentally pressed the disco mode button instead of defense mode. Suddenly, the simulator lit up with flashing lights and started playing "Stayin' Alive." Sarah couldn't help but laugh. "Well," she said, "I guess we found our secret weapon against the aliens. We'll dance them into surrender." As weeks passed, Earth changed. New buildings with strange antennas popped up. People carried special phones that could detect alien signals. Kids played with toy spaceships that looked just like the Terra Defender. One day, Sarah visited a school to talk about space defense. A little girl asked her, "Can we make friends with the aliens instead of fighting them?" Sarah smiled. "That's a great idea. We're trying to do that too. But we also need to be ready to protect ourselves, just in case." The girl nodded and then asked, "Can I be a space diplomat when I grow up?" "Of course you can," Sarah replied, feeling hopeful about Earth's future. As the day of the big alien return got closer, everyone on Earth felt a mix of excitement and worry. They were as ready as they could be. The Terra Defender waited in its underwater base, shiny and powerful. New ships were ready to join it. The Star Slicer, now fixed to actually slice things, was aimed at the sky. Earth had changed from a planet that didn't know about aliens to one that was ready to take on the whole galaxy. Whatever came next, they would face it together. As night fell, people looked up at the stars. But now, instead of just seeing pretty lights, they saw a future full of adventure. Earth was ready. The next chapter in their space story was about to begin. Making space friends. Earth was ready for a fight, but something unexpected happened. Nice aliens started showing up. They wanted to be friends, not enemies. It was time for Earth to learn how to make space buddies. The first aliens to visit were the Bluebians. They looked like big, friendly blue bubbles. When they landed, they started bouncing around happily. People didn't know whether to shake hands or just boop them gently. General Sarah Johnson greeted the Bluebians. "Welcome to Earth," she said with a smile. One Bluebian got excited and hugged her. But because it was a bubble, Sarah found herself inside it. "Well," she laughed, floating in the Bluebian, "this is one way to break the ice." Next came the Zizzlers, a race of aliens that looked like walking lightning bolts. They were super smart, but had trouble with Earth's gravity. They kept falling over and zapping things by accident. During a tour of a power plant, a Zizzler tripped and fell into a generator. Instead of getting hurt, it supercharged the generator. The plant manager was amazed. "Can we keep him?" he joked. The Floofians were next to visit. They were like walking, talking clouds. They loved Earth's weather, especially rain. But they had to be careful not to float away on windy days. One Floofian got caught in a strong breeze during a picnic. It flew up into the sky, taking the picnic blanket with it. People watched as sandwiches and fruits rained down. "Well," someone said, "I guess it's cloudy with a chance of meatballs today." Earth had to learn alien customs too. The squiggles, who looked like colorful noodles, greeted each other by tangling up. The first human who tried this with them ended up in a knot. "Don't worry," a squiggle said, helping untangle the human. "You'll get the hang of it. It took me years to learn, and I'm made of noodles." Food was a big part of making friends. Humans tried to cook for the aliens, and aliens tried Earth food. Some combinations were great, others not so much. The Rockoids, aliens made of living stone, loved crunchy food. They thought rocks were Earth snacks and started munching on garden decorations. "No, no," a horrified host said, stopping a Rockoid from eating a garden gnome. "That's not food." Earth food could be tricky for aliens too. A group of bubbloids, who were see-through, drank orange juice. Suddenly, everyone could see the juice sloshing around inside them. Kids thought it was the coolest thing ever. Communicating was fun but challenging. The Melodians spoke by singing. Their first conversation with Earth's leaders turned into an unexpected musical. In the middle of a serious discussion about trade agreements, everyone suddenly burst into song. "I never thought galactic politics would be so catchy," one leader said, tapping his foot to the beat. Sports were a great way to bond. Humans taught aliens soccer, but it didn't always go as planned. The gloop aliens, who were like giant amoebas, absorbed the ball into their bodies every time they tried to kick it. In return, aliens taught humans their sports. Zero-gravity volleyball became a hit, even though half the time was spent chasing the ball as it floated away. Some aliens came to study Earth. The brainiacs, with their huge heads full of knowledge, were fascinated by human art, but they took things too literally sometimes. In an art museum, a brainiac stared at a painting of melting clocks for hours. "Your timekeeping devices seem very inefficient," it said seriously. The tour guide tried not to laugh as she explained surrealism. As more aliens visited, Earth had to make some changes. Road signs now included warnings like, "Watch for floating pedestrians," and "Caution, shapeshifter crossing." Restaurants started offering special alien menus. Gamma-ray grilled steak and meteor shower meatballs became popular dishes, even though they were just regular food with fancy names. Schools began teaching alien languages. Kids had fun learning to speak bloob, which sounded like blowing bubbles, and sizzle, which involved making zapping noises. But it wasn't all fun and games. The friendly aliens warned Earth that the Galactic Empire was still angry. They were building a big fleet to attack Earth again. Sarah and her team knew they had to be ready, but now they had alien friends to help them. Together, they started planning how to defend Earth, and maybe even bring peace to the galaxy. As the day ended, humans and aliens gathered to watch the sunset. A Floofian sighed happily. "Your sky is so beautiful. No wonder you humans are so colorful and bright." A little girl smiled at the Floofian. "And no wonder you're so fluffy and nice. Your sky must be full of the softest clouds." As stars began to twinkle, Earth felt like a different planet. It was no longer alone in the universe. It had new friends, new challenges, and a whole galaxy of adventures waiting. The next big fight was coming. But now, Earth was ready to face it with a universe of friends by its side. The big fight. The day everyone was waiting for finally came. The Galactic Empire's huge fleet appeared in the sky. It was time for the big fight. General Sarah Johnson stood on the bridge of the Terra Defender. She looked at her team and their new alien friends. "This is it," she said. "Let's show them what Earth and its friends can do." The Empire's ships filled the sky like angry metal bees. Their leader, Emperor Zorg, appeared on a big screen. He looked grumpy, as usual. "Surrender now, puny Earthlings," Zorg yelled, "or face the wrath of our new superweapon." Sarah rolled her eyes. "New superweapon? That's so last season, Zorg. We have something better. We have friends." As if on cue, ships from all the friendly alien races appeared. Blobbian bubble ships, Zizzler lightning cruisers, and Floofian cloud vessels joined Earth's fleet. The battle began. Lasers flashed across space. Ships zoomed and dodged. It was like the biggest, craziest fireworks show ever. Earth's ships used all their cool new tricks. The Star Slicer cut through enemy ships like they were made of butter. Dolphin-guided torpedoes zigzagged through space, too smart for the Empire to hit. The friendly aliens helped too. Bloobian ships absorbed enemy fire and bounced it back. Zizzler ships zapped the Empire's computers, making their screens show funny cat videos instead of battle plans. But the Empire had a lot of ships. The fight was tough. Then Zorg revealed his super weapon. It was a giant space vacuum cleaner. "Behold," Zorg cackled. "It will suck up your puny planet." The space vacuum roared to life. It started pulling ships towards it. Things looked bad for Earth. But Sarah had an idea. She called the Floofians. "Can you guys make the biggest, fluffiest cloud ever?" she asked. The Floofians puffed up proudly. "You bet your gravity we can," they said. As the Floofians made their giant cloud, Sarah told the rockoids to throw space rocks into it. The result? A massive, fluffy meteor shower. The space vacuum sucked up the fluffy meteors. But it was too much. The vacuum clogged and started to shake. "No, No, no. Zorg yelled as his super weapon exploded in a poof of dust and pebbles. With the super weapon gone, Earth and its friends pressed their attack. The Terra Defender led the charge, with Sarah at the controls. Time for the final move. Sarah said, "Let's show them our secret weapon." She pressed a big red button. Suddenly, the Terra Defender split into 5 smaller ships. Each one was piloted by a different team member. "Terra Team, go," Sarah shouted. The 5 ships zoomed around, too fast for the Empire to hit. They worked together perfectly, like a well-practiced dance team. Jake flew his ship in loops, distracting the enemy. Maria used her ship's lasers to take out the Empire's weapons. Carlos created wormholes to confuse the bad guys. Lisa's ship put up shields to protect their friends. And Sarah, she headed straight for Zorg's main ship. Zorg saw her coming. He looked scared for the first time. "Stay back," he yelled. "I'm warning you." But Sarah didn't stop. At the last second, her ship transformed again. It turned into a giant hand. The space hand grabbed Zorg's ship and started tickling it. Yes, tickling. You see, Sarah had learned that Zorg's species was very ticklish. Inside his ship, Zorg couldn't help it. He started laughing. "Stop, stop," he giggled. "I give up. Uncle, uncle." With their leader captured, the Empire's fleet didn't know what to do. Many ships tried to run away. Others surrendered. The big fight was over. Earth and its friends had won. As the Earth ships rounded up the bad guys, the Melodians started singing a victory song. Soon, everyone joined in. The whole galaxy seemed to be celebrating. Back on Earth, people cheered and danced in the streets. Humans and aliens hugged each other, laughing and crying happy tears. Sarah brought Zorg down to Earth as a prisoner. But instead of putting him in jail, she had a better idea. "I sentence you to community service," she told him. "You're going to help us clean up space junk and make the galaxy a better place." Zorg grumbled but agreed. Deep down, he was a little excited to try doing good for a change. In the days that followed, the galaxy changed. Earth became a big player in galactic politics. Aliens and humans worked together to create peace. They even started a Galactic Friendship Day. The first one ended with the biggest, most colorful fireworks show ever. The Zizzlers helped, of course. As the fireworks lit up the sky, Sarah looked at her team and their alien friends. "You know," she said, "I think this is the beginning of a beautiful friendship." Everyone agreed. The universe was a big place, full of wonders and challenges. But now, Earth was ready for anything. Because they had learned the greatest lesson of all. Together, we're stronger. And so, Earth's grand space adventure continued, with new friends, new discoveries, and lots of fun along the way.